Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 66 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. How are you all doing?
Hello.
Hiya.
I want to start, not that I'm taking control as I always do, but I want to start with some thank yous, quite a list of thank yous. First on my list is Chris and Adrian from the Two Beards podcast. They sent me a little video for my birthday, a little 5-minute video, and it was amazing. It really made my birthday. It was brilliant. Yeah. I enjoyed it. And so thank you to you two for taking the time to do that.
You can find that video on our YouTube channel, and it is age restricted because, not because there's nudity or anything like that in it, but it's got a little bit of swearing, and we don't usually have swearing on our YouTube channel. So there you go. Go and check it out. It's I cried when Chris called me on Friday before Ryan's birthday. And he showed me, he gave me a sneak peek, and I literally bawled my eyes out. I thought, oh my God, it was just, honestly, it's worth a check out, honestly, it's so good.
Yeah, and thank you so much for doing that, because it was absolutely amazing. It really made my day. There was another video.
I think there was 3 in total.
There was 3 in total. The second one was a load of people that we've had on as guests, that we know through the show, who sent some messages. Sian edited them together in a little video.
I've learned how to edit on CapCut. So there was lots of videos.
Yeah, and so I wanted to thank everyone who was involved in that video. I've got some names: Christian, Jason, Tommy, Andy, Jake, Joe, Tim, RJ, Dale, Kelly, my mum and dad, Spud, Steve, Nigel, Peter, Dave, Caroline, Zach, Dexter, and also ex-Wrexham players Neil Roberts and Lee Jones. You put some effort in this year, haven't you?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for helping me out do this compilation. You're all amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was very happy. Thank you very much.
I think I've set a bar, haven't I, for presents this year?
Yes.
However, it's my birthday in June, so I would like you to do the same thing. Thanks.
Yeah, see what we can do in it. I also got a shout out at the game. But this was a little bit... So at half-time, they read out sort of birthday messages at the football over the sort of public address system, and which it was really nice, and I enjoyed it. But it was a little bit odd, wasn't it?
It was, because a few weeks ago, I emailed the club asking them who I need to speak to in regards to getting an announcement at half-time. Didn't get an answer back. So then Ryan's dad went to the club shop and spoke to a guy there. And he sent the emails whilst he was there. But the announcement that actually went out on Saturday's game was not the message that Ryan's dad had written down or emailed about. So we're confused. I mean, we high-fived everything. We were like, yeah, woo. But then Ryan's dad was like, did you mention Me, the Wife from Wrexham AFC? And I went, no.
So if there is somebody out there who has, in addition to Sian and my dad, asked for a birthday message for me, thank you very much.
Please let us know who you are, because I'm intrigued.
Because obviously Sian and my dad had asked, but neither of them mentioned that I was co-host on this podcast. So to sort of have that in the message, everyone's a little bit confused.
We're confused. Happy confused.
Yes.
But
very,
confused
very much
nonetheless.
So let's talk about the Crew game.
Let's talk about the Crew game.
So it was the EFL Trophy game. It was the second game in the group stages of the EFL Trophy. Just to give people an idea of where the EFL Trophy sits in the sort of list of importance of competitions. So for Wrexham, top of the list of importance is the league. So the League 2 competition that we play week in, week out, that is our priority this
100%.
season. 100% our priority. The other cup competitions are very nice, but the league competition is by far and away the most important.
Yep.
Second on that list, in my opinion, would come the FA Cup. lots of history surrounding the FA Cup. Wrexham have had loads of sort of success-ish in the FA Cup, and the fans love the FA Cup, and we'll talk a little bit more about the FA Cup in a bit. And then after that is the EFL Cup, which we're already out of, but that would come third in the list. The EFL trophy is very much the bottom of the list of priorities, and that was reflected in the team that was picked to play on Tuesday night. I mean, we had starts for McNicholas, Bryce Susanna, Max Cleworth, Liam McAlinden, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Jordan Davies and Jake Bickerstaff, none of which you would argue are getting any sort of regular league football at the moment. The bench as well, we had Aaron James, Harry Ashfield, Liam Hall, Dan Davis, Owen Cushion, Callum Edwards. A bunch of people who are very much academy sort of graduates who come through the Wrexham Academy, so which was really nice to see that they were on the bench as well.
Some good players.
There were two of them came on late on of the academy players as subs.
Aaron James, was he one of them?
I can't remember the two that came on now, but two of them came on late on. The only slight gripe for me, I'd like to have seen more of them come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was quite comfortable. I would have liked to have seen more of them come on, but we didn't. You know, that's how it is. Jordan Tunnicliffe opened the scoring with a deflected header on 5 minutes.
Yep.
Jordan Davies scored an absolute worldie, sort of ran from the sort of halfway line, sort of twisting and turning, took a few players on, slotted it in the corner, lovely after about 13 minutes.
From my point of view,
yes,
and I'm sure a lot of Wrexham fans will agree, Jordan Davies is one of our own. You know, he's a Coidy lad. You know, he's a Wrexham lad. So I think the past two games, obviously we will talk about the Salford game a little bit later, but obviously the Crewe game he scored, and in the Salford game on Saturday he scored another worldie. I think.
I wouldn't call it a worldie.
I do.
Okay, that's fine.
With
yeah,
difference of opinion.
Yes.
I think he should be considered for not just coming on in the latter minutes of the game.
Yeah,
I think he makes an absolute difference on that team, and I think he should be.
Yes, I do agree with you. We'll talk about that in a bit more depth when we get to the Salford game.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
just wanted
fine.
If you'd show the love to Jordan Davies. Shut your face. Don't say.
If you'd have read the notes, you know it's coming up anyway.
Well, I make it more organic if I don't read the notes, don't I? So.
Crewe had a man sent off in the second half, and Luke Young popped up to score the penalty.
Yes, I'm so happy for Luke.
Yes, so he scored. He made it 3-0, and that's how it finished. You know, very comfortable. They had quite a young team out, Crewe. I think, as I was talking about the sort of level of competition, a lot of clubs aren't that bothered by the EFL trophy.
No.
Having said that, though, the teams who get to the final is at Wembley, so it's not as if. You know, it's not as if it's some little cup competition.
It's a dream for some lads, isn't it?
It is.
Women as well, sorry.
And it would be interesting to see how the team how the team changes the further we get through the competition. Because I that sort of we got a chance to go to Wembley here. Do we still want to be putting academy players out when we've got a chance of getting to Wembley? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that pans out. But we've already, so it's a little group. Everyone's in groups of 4 teams. We've played 2 games now. We've played Newcastle under-21s, and we've also played Crewe. We've won both them games. We're top of the group. We've got 1 game left, but that game sort of doesn't really matter because we've already qualified for the knockout stages. But we'll be playing Port Vale at some point soon.
So I think maybe the academy players will be back out. Not the academy players, but the ones that have, come through the academy maybe again.
Yeah.
Like I saw a rumour actually that the Tuesday game against Crewe, that they were that Billy Waters, Callum McFadzean, and
Bryce Hosanna.
Were all coming on, but Callum McFadzean wasn't on out. He wasn't on the bench.
No, Callum and Billy went even in the squad, which I do find a little odd because it's a perfect opportunity to play players who are not getting a game because they're not in the league squad at the moment.
Football is such a horror. If you're a footballer, it's such a hard business to be in.
Yeah.
You know, all you want to do, whether you're a girl or a boy,
still getting paid, though, aren't you?
Oh, okay then. But still, you know,
Yeah.
football, means more to some people than money.
Does.
So
yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, they're playing for Wrexham. They're not raking it in, are they?
No. I've got a little surprise for you.
Me?
Yeah. A little. It's not a gift or anything like that. It's just words.
Oh.
A little surprise for you. And it's something that you forgot about. I know you forgot about it, but every week we do predictions, don't we? Do you remember what your prediction for the Crew game was?
No.
You went for 3-0.
Did I?
Yeah, you did, yeah. So I went 2-1. You went 3-0.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
2 in a row.
2 in a row, yeah, for you. Yeah, I knew you'd forgotten about that.
Oh my
God. I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna bring it up because I didn't want to, but I thought I'd better add just to let you know.
Boom!
Well,
2 games in a row, predictions right.
Yeah, well done.
What are you on?
What am I on for predictions? Hang on, let me just 1, 2. So just for this season, none. Absolutely.
So I'm actually
none.
beating you 2-0.
You are 2-0 because you got the Salford one right, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, 2. You got 2. You got 2 in a row this week.
You don't realise how amazing that is. Ryan is one of the most competitive people I have ever encountered, and Alfie is starting to become that as well now. So it's definitely rubbing off.
Not true. Not true. But
100% it's true. But I am so happy that I am beating Ryan 2-0.
Look.
Come and get me, baby.
Look. It is. No team has won the league yet, have they? So don't go sitting back thinking...
Oh, I won't. I'm not resting on my laurels.
The season is long. The season is long. I have time. I could get 2 in a week. Who knows?
Doubtful though, isn't it?
It was doubtful. You were going to do it, but you did.
I did it twice. Yeah, one time I didn't even realise I had.
No, I know.
Happy.
Let's talk about Salford.
Oh,
got a lot to talk about with the Salford game.
Yeah, I just. Oh.
Obviously, it was my birthday on Saturday, as I've mentioned, and
obviously.
I thought it was going to be ruined at one point, but
the face on him. Honestly.
Yeah, I was fuming at one point. The amount of beer I drank at the game helped to dull the senses, but it was, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of them things where you go, this isn't going to go our way. I mean, we had let's go to the start of the game before we jump to the end. George Evans retained his place once again.
Yep.
James Jones.
Yep.
Retained his place once again. That is the 4th game in a row.
Rightly so. I think James Jones is, honestly, he's just brilliant.
So what do we think about Evans over Young then? Because that's the sort of switch that you're making. You are choosing George Evans over Luke Young. So, and I know, that you obviously love Luke Young, but it's working at the moment, isn't it? To a degree, I would say. It is, to a degree, it is working. So, how do you feel?
Yeah, like you just said, you know how much I love Luke Young. I think he's a brilliant player. He's such a personable person, and I just say, I mean, I've never spoken to him, but I can tell. I can tell.
By looking at him.
Just looking at him. I just think it would be nice for obviously he played at the Tuesday game against Crew.
Yes.
But it would be nice for him to maybe kind of come on as a sub for George Evans, because I think
he did. Well, he came on Saturday, didn't
literally,
he?
In the last 30 seconds. So he didn't. I mean, his kit was just immaculate because he didn't even get to run very much.
Yeah.
And, obviously Jordan Tunnicliffe came on as well.
Yeah, I like George Evans. I've watched him quite closely, and his movement, and it's very effortless. He reminds me a little bit of Tom O'Connor playing.
You know, I thought you were going to say, he reminds me a little bit of myself. When
No.
I was a defender or a striker or whatever you were when you played football.
No, he reminds me a little bit of Tom O'Connor in the sense of he's very composed on the ball. He can see the game very well. He's got a full complement of passes. He's good range of passing that he's got. He doesn't mind getting stuck in. I do think with George Evans, he looks like a 90s catalogue model.
You say this all the time.
He does though. He's got that sort of look. I could just imagine him in like, I don't know, in
Speedos.
Like, no, not Speedos. I wasn't going to say Speedos. Like some mountaineering jacket or walking jacket, just looking off into the distance
with his walking stick
up at a mountain. And just them catalogue pictures you used to get. It's what he just reminds me of.
Do catalogues still exist?
I don't know. There might be kids watching this going, "What's a catalogue?"
I know our lad would be definitely going, "What's a catalogue, mummy?"
No, the Argos catalogue. Kids still know what the Argos catalogue is, don't they?
Yeah, but it's not the same as when we were kids and we used to circle stuff at Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. It's all online now.
What crap are we talking about?
I don't know.
Aaron James. Let's talk about Aaron James a little bit.
I'm impressed.
Okay, can I ask the question? Okay. What did you think of it? So he came in at right wing back.
Mendy.
Well, he's come in for quite a few people, really, hasn't he? Because Ryan Barnett is suspended. Anthony Ford is injured.
Well, we think he's injured.
We think he is. He's not there anyway. And then we've got Mendy, who obviously is normally a left wing back, but he's played on the right as well. So he's injured. Andy Cannon has played there during his career, who is also suspended. So you say he came in for Mendy. He's come in for 4 different players there.
I suppose.
So I'm glad he got his opportunity because there's obviously 4 players there that would have played in front of him.
Yeah.
So in this instance, if he didn't get the nod to play, you sort of go, what's the point in him being there? Do you know, at the club? And I think he, deserved that opportunity.
He was so good.
What? Yeah. Okay. Let me ask the question. What? Go on. What did you make of him?
I think about 45 when we got to half time. I think I said to you or my brother or whoever it was, anyone who listened, that he's at the moment my man of the match. I thought he was really, really good. Well, it was a toss-up between Owen O'Connell and Aaron, to be honest. But I thought he was so good. He was quick on the ball. He was always trying to find gaps to get the ball to him. To be fair, the other players were passing the ball to him, and he was running on the outside.
Running on the outside.
And he gave some good passes by the goal, but obviously,
Yeah, I
thought he was really good.
Okay, yeah, no, look, I thought as a debut goes for a young lad, I thought, he was very composed. I think he got caught a couple of times going towards the ball, and they got in behind him on a couple of occasions.
Right.
I think once or twice when he's getting down that right hand side, balls in the box. There's definitely a little bit more quality that could come from them balls in the box, but he's getting in the positions and he is getting the balls into the box, which I was really happy about. I just think he's got a lot to learn. It's a massive step up from where he has been playing to where he is, to being in this squad. I'm not under any illusions that he is going to get a lot of game time this season. I hope he's not under any illusions that he's going to get a lot of game time this season, because as we've already discussed, there's a lot of people in front of him for that position.
Yeah.
And I think, it sounds horrible, but I think he got the call up more out of necessity than he did out of talent and skill. Not saying he's not talented, not saying he's, that he hasn't got what it takes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think it was more out of necessity that he was playing. But a very solid league debut for him. I thought he was very good. Like I say, a couple of things that he needs to improve on. But let's be honest, players who've been playing the game professionally for 15 years will look at a game and go, wish I'd done that a bit better. You know,
there's
that
always
needs
room
to
for
improve.
improvement anywhere,
There
isn't
is,
there?
and I applaud you for your performance. I thought you did very well.
So moving on. So obviously last week we discussed Arthur Okonkwo.
We did.
You made that little song for him.
I did. I didn't make it. I didn't make it.
Who made it?
I don't know. Someone. I heard it. I heard it somewhere. I didn't make it.
Oh, okay. I was like proper bigging you up. Like, oh, I said the song. Anyway, well done to whoever made it.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you think now, obviously, this is the 4th game? 5th game?
Yeah, go on, move on.
Yeah, it's a few.
Yeah.
And he's obviously started for us.
Yes.
Do you think that Arthur Okonkwo is now our number 1
100%.
goalkeeper?
100%. I said it after the first time he played. The first time he played, I went, that's it, he's in now. I don't think, my opinion is you don't chop and change your goalkeepers. We've had it at Arsenal recently where they've got Ramsdale and Raya. Raya came in just out of the blue, and then, you know, everyone was like, oh, maybe they're going to share responsibility. Shut up. That's never happening. You're not sharing responsibility. And as has happened with at Arsenal, Raya's played every game since. As is now happening at Wrexham, Okonkwo has played every game since. You just don't chop and change your goalkeeper. And as soon as he come in, I knew that was it. Look, he can make some absolute humdingers of saves. He really can.
He can also make some humdiggers mistakes as well. Well, I mean, I suppose everyone does, don't they?
I wouldn't call them mistakes. I would call them. There's a slight issues with his positioning at times. I'm not claiming to be a goalkeeping expert, but he
not
does.
Even close, babe.
He does get caught a little bit at his near post as well, and I just think he's a young lad and he's going to improve, and goalkeepers tend to take a little bit longer to develop as players than outfield players do. And there's nowhere to hide as a goalkeeper either. You know, you make a mistake, it's 99 times out of 100 it's a goal. So there's improvement to be made, but I like the guy. I think he can make saves that Rob and Mark couldn't. If I'm gonna be completely honest and throw that out. I think he's got saves in his locker that them two can't make. So I'm happy with him.
So you think that Rob Langton and Mark Howard are not going to be getting a look in anymore?
No.
I mean, what's happened to Rob Langton? I know obviously he was injured for a long time, but
he's injured again. So yeah, he's got an injury at the moment, and he's out. I do fear for Rob a little bit. The way things are at the moment, I think my personal opinion, I'd have Arthur in goal, and I'd have Rob as the number 2. I think that's how I would structure it.
He keeps getting injured all the time.
But yeah, it's very hard to build something around a goalkeeper who is sort of made of glass a little bit and, keeps getting injured.
Mark Howard never got injured.
He doesn't. But like I said, I think Arthur can make a lot more wide-ranging amount of saves than Mark can. Yeah. Mark's got the experience. Mm-hmm. I do notice Mark's positioning is better than Arthur's. That's just an experience thing. But as I say, it's what do you want? Do you want someone who's well positioned, or do you want someone that's going to pull some big saves out the back? I'd like to see Arthur holding on to the ball a little bit more as well. When he does make saves, I think there are times when he doesn't necessarily need to be parrying the ball. Just maybe he could be holding on to it, or maybe parrying it into a slightly better area than...
Sorry, I'm going to ask, what the hell does parrying mean?
Oh, right, sorry. Okay, parry is... So when a goalkeeper makes a save, if he doesn't catch it, he parries it. So parrying it is flat hands, push the ball away. That's a parry.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Every day's a school day, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I would have... If I didn't know that was a well-known term, I would have explained that, but thank you for...
It might be a well-known phrase
No,
to
for
experienced football
somebody
fans.
who is new-ish to football. I didn't realise that. I thought it was a well-known thing, but there we go, obviously. O'Connell in, again.
Great.
Yeah. Do we look better or worse without Tozer?
See, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I'm so indecisive about these sort of things because I want everybody to be happy and floaty and happy and obviously I know that's not going to happen. O'Connell played well on Saturday.
I thought he did as well.
I thought you even said he is totally underrated as a player.
Yes, I think so.
Which then I took that as my own and I went to my brother. So he's totally what's the word?
Underrated.
Underrated. My brother's like, oh yeah. So yeah,
he is.
Yeah. He is, yeah. But Tozer, we just need somebody who's got those long throws, and I don't think anybody is even close to being able to. You know, I
can't play a player because he's got a long throw.
I miss Tozer though. I think I think he was an integral part of getting us to League Two, and I think he will be an integral part to get us to League One. But I don't know.
It's difficult, isn't it?
It is.
It is difficult.
Why can't we have 22 people on that pitch the same team? I mean,
it is very difficult because I think Owen's done excellently well. You know, winning in the last couple of games.
Me
that he's
too.
come
I do
in.
as well.
Yeah, and I really like Ben Tozer. I like his composure. The one downside of Ben is I think he would probably admit he lacks a little bit of pace. As soon as there's a pacey front line for one of the teams that we play, we struggle. We do.
I think Ollie's struggling a little bit as well.
Do you? Why?
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's playing well.
Yeah.
But sometimes when the ball is kind of going and he's like a one-on-one with another player.
Yeah.
I just think the other player.
Yeah, maybe.
Dunno.
He has had his injury problems, hasn't he? But so back to Ben. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, to be perfectly honest. There'll be very much two camps with this going, look, Ben needs some time away. We need to run with the team that we've got.
Yeah.
There'll be people who want Ben Tozer back in. There'll be people who won't want Ben Tozer back in at all. You know, there's a certain. It just depends how you view a game and how you think we're playing with them and without him. It's so hard. But George Evans got a decent throw on him. I noticed he lobbed a few into the box. It's not always the answer though, is it? Continuously throwing balls into the box all the time. Let's, a few short throws, hold on to the ball,
long balls
pass
aren't
it.
always the answer.
They're
long
not.
throw-ins.
They're not. And
yeah,
sometimes getting it short and playing around and getting crosses into the box, doing something different. I think in the long run will be good for the team because they can't just rely on that long throw all the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're probably the better team, I would say, early on.
Do you think?
Yeah, I would say before that, I think we had more control of the ball, and I just felt like I was happy enough at 0-0. I would say so, maybe. And then they went 1-0 up. Matt Smith at the back post. It was such a bad goal to concede as well. The ball come across. It was Hayden versus Smith, and Smith went with his head. No, who went with their head? Someone went with their head, and the other one went with their foot. And it just, I think it's a ball. It's a goal that when Aaron looks back at that, he'll go, I got that wrong, and I should have stopped that.
Yeah.
Equally, I think Arthur could maybe have done a little bit better with that as well. So to go 1-0 down it was disappointing. I was disappointed to go 1-0 down. And I thought we responded well after we went 1-0 down, if I'm completely honest. I thought, again, we didn't let it phase us too much. It felt like we were the team on the front foot again. And I thought we were pushing on. And then what goes and happens? We go 2-0 down. And again, another sort of quite poor goal to sort of concede. And Mullin had gone clean through just before they scored their second.
Yeah.
And it was sort of bouncing in front of him. And he put it over the bar, and I was really disappointed that he didn't get it on target or at least test the goalkeeper in some way. But anyway, we went 2-0 down. Arthur sort of parried it. parried it, into the path of their attackers. And I felt sorry for the guy a little bit. I don't know, I can't remember his first name is Lund, his name is. He was the guy who looked like he was about 50, and he was on, and he'd bought a Virgin Experience day to play for Salford. But he had the sort of grey hair, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's the one who stabbed it towards goal. And but it came off Matty Smith's knee. So
he got the goal.
He got the goal, so that was his second one. Yeah, and I sort of 2-0 down. You're sitting there going, I think we've probably been the better team here, but we're sitting here 2-0 down. For God's sake, it's my birthday. You know, so what's
I was thinking,
going on?
oh my God, if they lose today, it's just going to be, ugh.
Are we conceding too many goals?
100%.
I don't know why I even asked that.
100%. Why? But why are we conceding so many goals? It is ridiculous.
I don't know, and that's the
this far into the season as well. We, granted, you've come back from pre-season, you can kind of forgive the odd conceded goal, but so far into the season, I know we're not I don't even think we're halfway yet, are we?
Do you know the problem? In my opinion, what I think the problem is.
What's the problem, Ryan?
We don't have a settled backline.
No.
Look at the players we've played at the back this season. We've played Aaron Hayden. We've played Will Boyle. We've played Owen O'Connell. We've played Ben Tozer. We've had Ryan Barnett. We've had Jacob Mendy. We've had Aaron James. We've had James McLean. I mean, that back line is like, it's like what's that? I don't know. It's like an American football team, isn't it? The amount of players we've got on a defensive team.
Yeah.
It's like an American football. I mean, and if you look around the leagues, I know we've talked about this before, you look around the leagues, they've got settled 11s. They've got a settled team, never mind your defence. We've chopped and changed up front and midfield as well, which might be becoming a little bit of our downfall sometimes. But maybe that's why we're conceding so many goals. I mean, let's be honest, how many games are we in now? 13?
Yeah,
13th
on Saturday.
13 games
Just
in.
gone.
We've used 3 goalkeepers this season. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous that we've used 3 goals. If you count cup competitions, we've used 4. That's ludicrous. For a team to have used 2 goalkeepers in a whole season would be because one of them's got injured. For us to have used 4 is crazy.
We had no choice when Ben Foster retired again, so that was that one.
Yeah,
I don't think that counts really.
No,
to be honest.
I know, and I'm maybe being a bit too critical, but I just think we have quality players running through that squad. But you can't keep them all happy all the time. And maybe the time has come to settle on a starting 11 and just go and change the odd player now and again. We just seem to be changing a lot. And maybe that's to our detriment and why we're conceding so many goals. I'm not saying that's why, but maybe.
So we weren't 2 down, down 2? 2? What?
2 down.
2 down.
Yeah.
For very long. Because Elliot Lee
scored a header.
Bang! Header in.
Yeah.
That was unusual.
Yeah, I mean, as a Salford defence, you'd be fuming when you're letting him score a header from a corner. But he did. A decent header.
Yep.
Got to half time 2-1 down. I kept saying it, didn't I? When we went into the second half, I kept saying it. I said, they're no good. The Salford didn't look very good to me, and I felt that we could go on and win the game. And I honestly thought we'd score a few in the second half, and I thought, right, we'll pin them back, we'll go at them, we'll get 3. I thought we'd win 4-2, or even maybe another extra one.
4-2 because that was your prediction?
No, 4-1 was my prediction. So no,
but they didn't. They won 3-2.
Yeah.
My prediction. I
won. What's your thoughts? I just before half-time, James Jones got booked for diving.
Oh, I think I was very vocal.
And we were right behind it. And there was a few people going, yeah, it's probably a dive.
It wasn't.
From behind, we watched it from behind. It wasn't. It so wasn't. He might have lunged a bit. He might have made it quite easy to go over, but the lad cut right across him and took him out of the hip. And for James Jones to get booked for that, I thought it was ridiculous. But he did anyway. The refs are crap. We know
Talking
that.
about, obviously, at near the beginning of the game, I think it was the first half, that player 16, don't know what his name is, don't actually care. And Mullen, he was proper aggressive. And he was like, literally...
I've watched that back, you know.
Have you?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it maybe looked.
But he just like kept picking him up and then falling over, picking him up, falling over.
Mullen grabbed him round the head with the back of his arm like that. And he was trying to get off. And that's why that all happened. It wasn't as bad as it initially thought.
Because it was right in front of us.
It was right in front of us, but have a look at the replay. That wasn't as bad as you first
Yeah, but the
thought.
James Jones thing.
Yeah.
That was the referee was absolute, and the linesmen as well. The linesmen are getting right on my wick.
Yeah, they are, because they're there and they're doing nothing. They're literally doing nothing. They're not keeping up with play. They're not, I didn't see the linesman on our side. They've got microphones. I didn't see him talk to the ref once, for anything. And the ref's there, if we cut the ref a little bit of slack. No, refs in general, I mean.
Oh, okay.
They've got quite a large area to keep an eye on, of what's going on. The linesmen are there to help the referee communicate, going, right, this is going off the ball. This is happening over here. And they need some help. They need something, because they're awful at the moment.
I thought we'd go into League Two and the referees and linesmen would be a bit more of a higher calibre than the National League.
Yeah.
But you know what? Some of the referees in the National League are so much better than the ones in League Two.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, definitely. We had a few half chances. Hayden had a header. Davies, Mullen had a chance. Fletcher had a shot that was saved by the keeper. Did you reckon it was going to be one of them days?
What, where they were just shooting to hope for the best?
No, when it was just going to be, we were knocking on the door constantly, and it just wasn't going to happen for us.
I did honestly think that we were going to be, we would have conceded too many goals, and we wouldn't have even left the Racecourse with even 1 point. I thought we would, but we left with 3.
We did. So Super Sub popped up, didn't he? To
Super
Kalev.
Sub.
Well, that's what he is at the moment. I'm not going to have the conversation when does he start, because he has had a little bit of an issue. He hadn't had pre-season. He had a little bit of an issue with his knee. He had some fluid on his knee that had to have drained. So maybe his fitness still isn't there, but there's got to come a point where he's got to start. But I do like him coming off the bench and scoring these goals.
He's like this fierce Scottish.
Yeah.
He's just got so much like, right, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I am gonna get this goal.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hold my sporran.
Your what?
Sporran.
Oh, sporran. I don't know what I thought you said then. And then 54 seconds later, Jordan Davies scores to make it 3-2. I mean,
have you seen that picture that I think it was Stead Photos? I'm not 100% sure, of Jordan Davies when he'd scored that goal.
No, I haven't seen it.
Honestly, the emotion and passion and just complete joy in his face.
Yeah,
just,
my favourite thing of the day. We didn't hear it at the time, but it's on the highlights when you watch the highlights back. Is Mark Griffiths. Mark Griffiths, when obviously he's very screamy, isn't he? When Wrexham scored, he does love a scream, and his comment. Jordan Davies has scored, he'd screamed, he was celebrating, and Mark Griffiths said, "This club is ludicrous." And he is so right. And I was just like, that's quite funny, because he just said this club is ludicrous, because why do we keep doing this all of the time? It's like the Crew game, and it's like the Dover game, but we leave everything so late, so many times.
It's exciting though, a little bit, isn't it?
I'm not sure my heart can take a full season like this.
I think they referred to Stephen Fletcher and Jordan Davies as the defib guys, because you need. I don't know who said that, but
Yeah.
you feel like you need to have like
A defib
defib.
on hand. Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure I can cope. It is so exciting. It's so exciting to have these moments in games because we've talked about it before. We talked about it when we went to Oldham last season. There is nothing better in football than winning a game in the last minute or scoring 2 late goals to win a game. And Saturday was no different to that. But I'm not sure my heart can take it for a full season. I really don't. But my God, it's exciting.
It is exciting. And I think
yeah.
people would moan if it was a dull, boring 3 points.
Yeah. Jordan Davies, we just spoke about him. We said we'd speak it. We said we'd talk about it again. What happens with Jordan Davies long term? Because he plays in Elliot Lee's position. Yes. What happens?
Why do you always have to ask these horrible questions?
What happens because he's not getting game time? I understand why he's not getting game time because
of Elliot Lee.
Elliot Lee can change a game like that, and he with one turn, one pass, he can score.
Yeah,
he can change a game like that.
But so can Jordan Davies.
But Jordan Davies can do that as well, and he proved that on Saturday that he comes on. Yeah, he comes on, and he can literally change a game with a pass, with a turn, with a through ball, with a goal. He can do that as well.
Can Jordan Davies play in any other position?
He used to be a left back.
So can he come and do that?
Well, instead of McLean.
Oh.
But you don't get the best out of Jordan Davies by playing him at left back. You get the best out of Jordan Davies playing him as an attacking midfielder. So what happens with him long term? This is the question, because how do you keep him? How do you keep hold of a player who's that good when he's not playing? How? You can't, surely.
No.
So we're lucky he's a local lad, because if he wasn't, I think will have been looking to leave, because he knows he's good and he knows he's not getting game time. The fact that he's from Wrexham, I think, helps us hold on to him.
Yeah, but it's not fair, though,
but
is it?
But it's not going to happen forever.
No.
It's not.
He's got himself, his career and his family to think about. Not the fact that, he's a Welsh lad, Wrexham lad.
I just think we're running we're on a tightrope with Jordan Davies at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's going to come to a point where that tightrope snaps and he goes, I need football. I need regular first team football. And let's be honest, he would get into most teams in League Two. But you've then got to go up against him, haven't you? That's the problem. So I don't know. I don't know what happens with Jordan long term. I don't. Arthur made a really good save at the end as well. So Matt Smith going for his hat trick. He had a little header from about 6 yards out. Arthur went down, held on to it really well, which, like I said, I'd like to see him do a little bit more of. Held on to it really well. And yeah, we held on for the win. And it was,
I think when at the time there was, I think he'd got hold of the ball, but I think he was getting ready to kick it.
Yeah.
Kick it back out, but Ollie Palmer was like,
yeah, you stay there,
You stay there, pal.
13 games in.
Yep.
Are we in a better or worse position than you both thought and hoped we would be in now?
Worse. I thought we'd be in a better position.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't, I
didn't you?
No, but why did you think we'd be in a better position?
I don't know, because we played so well in the National League. I don't know.
So much different, though. It's
100%. It's like dog eat dog in League Two. It's horrible.
It is. I'm very happy with where we are.
I'm not saying I'm not happy.
I always keep going back to it. I need a different analogy, but I always look at Stockport from when they went up into League Two, not because I can't think any further back than when Stockport were promoted, but it's recent history.
Yeah.
That all the teams are practically the same to when they went up, to when we've gone up, and it took them that 15 games to get going.
We're only 3 points off top, aren't we? Is it 3 points or 2?
I think we are, yeah. Stockport are top at the moment. They've won, I think they've won 6 in a
Notts
row.
County got battered yesterday on Saturday, didn't they, by Mansfield? Absolutely.
Yeah. We watched
battered.
that. It was brilliant. Yeah.
What they was on whilst we were waiting to.
It was.
It's good, yeah.
It was
Love
good.
it.
Oh, never mind. Anyway, welcome to Wrexham. Let's talk about that briefly. So, episode 7 was Giant Killers. Best episode so far for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think.
Is that because you were on it, or?
Is it because I was on it? No, not at all. It's very difficult, I think, to compare episodes in Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
I loved Millie's episode and the autism episode. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, there was very little football in that episode. It was very much about Millie and
what football means
and about
to her, and
Paul and Paul's son and autism and what the football means to and that was a beautifully made episode.
Yeah.
To compare that with episode 7,
which was like a lot of football,
it's very difficult to do because they're so different.
I think they've got the balance right so far.
They're like they're episodes from 2 completely different series. So to compare the 2 is hard.
Yeah.
But I would say episode 7 was my favourite.
Because it had the games where we enjoyed the most, wasn't it?
It was very much focused on the Wrexham's FA Cup run from last season. So we had the Coventry game, which we went to.
Oh, best game ever.
It was when they were showing that game and on the documentary, it very much it was like goosebumps, wasn't it? Because you remember back every goal going in, and you're going, oh my God, little National League team are doing this to a championship team, and it was an amazing day out. It was fantastic.
Your dad was just
gutted, because he didn't come
to the Coventry. Oh, Sheffield wasn't it that he came to?
Yeah. It obviously showed some previous years of what a giant killing is. It showed Wrexham against Arsenal, which I was there. Thank you very much. No, I was there. I was there at that game. Excellent. It was the Wrexham Middlesbrough game that they showed as well when we beat Middlesbrough. I was there then. Thank you very much. No, but I was I was at both them games. Great, and we've got a long history of doing well in the FA Cup without ever having won it. Just doing well against big teams, and shocking them, and giant killing. That's exactly what it is. It's shocking teams into not thinking you can beat them, and then you pop up and do it. It showed that obviously the Sheffield United game, still got goosebumps watching that as well. Even though and it was just like, even when I look at it now, I think, we were so close to just holding on to that.
I said to you, didn't I, whilst we were watching it, I was like, oh my God, the documentary that is. I was like, oh my God, I know what happens, but I still feel really anxious.
Yeah, it was.
It's so weird what this documentary and looking back on games, what sort of emotions it kind of rises in you.
It's just going to get more and more though, innit, as the season goes on, because them games were massive. And we spotted ourselves, we had quite a close-up of ourselves, didn't we, in the crowd.
Ryan had a face on him.
I had a face, it was the end of the Sheffield United game, and I'm just standing there a bit miserable. That's my only cameo so far in the documentary. Me standing there with a completely miserable face. You do your best to shield yourself from your 1 second because
I fiddle with my hair when I'm
and then we had my dad smiling into the camera, so he made the most of his 1 second of
weirdly
fame.
Though, for the Sheffield game, you'd gone to the toilet or gone to get you'd gone anyway before the game had even started, and me and your dad, the camera came really close, and me and your dad were waving and cheering and stuff like that, but they never showed that. So you would have got me a bit more.
They were looking for me. That's why they waited till I come back. Obviously, they mentioned. I think the Billy Sharp thing was done superbly in the documentary, because I think it would have been remiss of them to not mention it, because it was quite a big news story at the time. It was a big news story, and it was especially amongst Wrexham fans. Billy Sharp's comments after the replay that we played. And I think, it would have been remiss of them to leave any...
Did he get fined for that?
He did, just for his comments about what he said after the game. I don't think he get fined much. And like I said, they definitely needed to include it. But the way they did it was perfect. They did it in a way that was... They only focused on it for a minute. They didn't give it much airtime. They made him look stupid. And it ended... That little section ended with Rob and Ryan laughing at him. Which, because you could have been angry and you could have sort of gone, who does he think he is? The way they did it was perfect. Because, like I said, they kept it short. They made him look silly, and they also ended it with them laughing at him.
I think Billy Sharp, ultimately, he wanted to be in the documentary.
Yeah.
And he did get his 5 seconds of fame in the documentary, but it kind of backfired on you, and you look like an absolute idiot.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Look, we got one game coming up this week.
Yeah.
We've got.
Couldn't get tickets for it though. Really.
No,
upset.
we couldn't. Bradford City. So it's Saturday, the 21st of October, 3 p.m. kickoff. So it's available for international fans only on iFollow. It's away at Valley Parade or the Bradford University Stadium. Didn't even know that's what it was called till I researched it. It's 91 miles away, which is about an hour and 45 minutes from the Racecourse. They finished 6th last season on 76 points. So they lost in the semi-finals of the playoffs to Carlisle, who ended up winning the final. So if you're going to go out of the playoffs, at least you go out to the... It's like what we did with Grimsby. If you're going to go out of the playoffs, at least go out to the people who end up winning it and get promoted.
Yeah,
Makes you feel loads better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
On Saturday, they won 1-0 away to AFC Wimbledon. I watched... as I always do with people we're playing, I watched extended highlights of that game. They looked poor, I thought, Bradford. Wimbledon were really unlucky not to win the game. They had the more chances. They had more of the ball. And I think Wimbledon would have been particularly annoyed to have come away from that game with nothing. But it's a good away win for Bradford. They can dig in when they need to.
Just not too when we're playing them.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. But they won away at AFC Wimbledon on Saturday. This season, they've won 5, drawn 4, and lost 4. They're 11th in the league on 19 points, which is 4 behind us. They're managed by Kevin McDonald after Mark Hughes was sacked the other week. Sorry, I've got hiccups. He's a player caretaker manager. Basically,
so he plays and manages. I think that's a dangerous thing to do.
He doesn't really play. He played in the EFL Trophy in midweek, but he's not playing. He didn't play on the weekend.
Who makes these decisions? I have no idea. It's so weird.
He's won 3-3 now since he took over, and I watched an interview with one of the Bradford players who he was asked, "What do you think since Kevin's taken over?" And he goes, "Since he's taken over, we're very clear about what we need to do," which I think was maybe a bit of a damning indictment on Mark, who they obviously felt wasn't very clear about what he wanted them to do. Now they feel they've got focus and clarity about what they need.
Surely the focus is to win the league.
Yeah, but in games and what you want them to do and tactically.
Right, okay.
Top scorer last season was Andy Cook with 28 goals. He was also League 2 top scorer, and he is also their top scorer for this season with 6. So prediction, please.
Predictioni. I'm just having to think. I don't know. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wrexham.
I'm going to go. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm going to go. I'm going to go for a low-scoring affair.
Okay.
So now I've said that. You definitely need to watch this because there's probably going to be 12 goals in it. Now I've said it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go 1-0 Wrexham.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Written down.
If you want to get in touch with us, please do on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Where else?
No, not Threads, because I don't do anything on Threads anymore.
No, TikTok, or email us at methewifeandwrexhamafc@gmail.com. Also, please make sure you head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Everything. Just do it.
Just follow us on all the socials and subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe and do everything.
Yeah, just do it. Do it.
quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They do a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday from 7 p.m. Till 8:30. Follow Dragon Chat -Steve Lloyd on Twitter is the best thing to do to find out everything about that. Yeah. Quiz time.
Okay.
So this is 2 lies, 1 truth. I'm going to read out a statement.
Okay.
3 statements. 2 of them will be lies.
Okay.
1 of them will be the truth.
Okay.
You just have to tell me the truth.
Yes.
Okay?
Well done.
That's what a marriage is based on, telling the truth. And not all the time. Okay, number 1. We play Bradford City on Saturday.
Yeah, we do.
After Bradford knocked us out of the EFL Cup, they didn't win any of their next 7 games. Okay?
Yes.
Number 2, since sacking Mark Hughes, Bradford have won every game in all competitions. Or number 3, Bradford City are the lowest scoring team in the league.
2.
It is number 2. Well done. I didn't mark that as I'm pretty sure that was the answer, but yeah. We have scored 27 and conceded 25 this season. There have been more goals in Wrexham games than any other League 2 team this season. No team in the top half have conceded as many goals as us. Or number 3, this season our league games have seen an average of 4 goals per game.
I'm going to go with number 1.
There have been more goals in Wrexham games than any other League 2 team this season.
3.
Incorrect. No, get lost. That's incorrect. There's been 1 more goal in Notts County games. So
Oh yeah, of course.
We've scored 27, conceded 25. They've scored 28, conceded 25.
Do you know what? I did a thingy yesterday and I saw
So it is this season our league games have seen an average of 4 goals per game, which is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So we beat Salford 3-2 on Saturday. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
Number 1, Elliot Lee scored a header. He was the smallest player on the pitch at the time. Number 2, it is the first time we have scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes this season. Or number 3, we didn't get caught We didn't get caught offside once on Saturday.
Ooh. I don't remember the flag going up for offside. I'm going to go with 3.
Number 3, you would be correct.
Yay.
We didn't get caught offside. Elliot Lee, I don't know who does his stats. I think he's paid someone on the dark web to alter his height.
Like, is he 6'7"?
No, but he's, according to everything I look at, he's taller than Paul Mullin.
Nah.
Well, I'm going to have to...
What size is he?
I don't know. It was in centimetres, so I don't know. But he was... Anyway, there was Salford players who were smaller than him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think John was...
he was quite small.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Number 4. Wales played at the Racecourse last week.
No.
Yeah, and they won 4-0.
They did. It was a good game, to be fair.
Yes. Number 1. It was Wales' first game at the Racecourse since 2018. Number 2. The Racecourse held Wales' first ever international in 1875. Or number 3. The last competitive international at the Racecourse was in 1999.
2.
Number 2. The Racecourse held the first ever international in 1875. Okay, it did hold the first international, but it was in 1877. It was Wales' first game at the Racecourse since 2019, not 2018. So the last competitive international at the Racecourse was in 1999. Last one. Ready? Saturday was the lowest attendance in the league at the Racecourse since March 2022. Number 2. Saturday was the first game on my birthday since 2015. Or number 3, Saturday was the earliest the floodlights have been turned on since December the 8th, 2004. No.
I'm going to go with number 1.
Number one,
I can't
lowest
remember what it was.
attendance?
Yeah.
No, it is incorrect. Saturday was the first game on my birthday since 2015.
Can I just say, sorry to
No, you can't really. Go
I
on.
just wanted to say it was National Ryan Day yesterday.
It was, yeah.
Did
That's
you know
weird.
that?
Weird on my birthday.
Anyway.
Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in again this week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.